Welcome to another episode of The Latest with Maya. Today, I am so excited to be having a conversation with actor Philemon Chambers. Philemon was in the movie Single All the Way and the show Walker Independence. Thank you so much for being on my show. I'm very excited to be talking with you.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So let's get started. Quickly before I ask my first question, I
Mhm.
just want to say Single All the Way is one of my favorite movies. So I watch it all the time. So I'm
Well,
I'm so excited to be talking with you.
thank you. You know what? Single All the Way has become a very, very big part of my life in a way that I didn't think it would. Again, that being the first thing that I starred in, there was a lot of pressure and I was very nervous most of the time. But now being able to kind of like have some time behind me and being able to actually reflect, it was a great time. It was a great time.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Um, so my first question for you is, who has had the biggest impact on you as a person?
You're coming out the gate swinging. Ooh, the biggest impact on me as a person. Oh, my mom, my mom, my mom. I recently just celebrated my 30th birthday. I know. It's crazy, but
Happy birthday.
thank you, my love. I appreciate it. But yeah, no, my mom. She was very selfless with me when I was younger and getting into the business. And she would take off from work. She would literally devote her Saturdays and Sundays to taking me to like 2, 3 acting classes. Cause I'm not like, I didn't go to an acting school. I went to acting classes. And in a way that was my school, but I am not classically trained by any means. So she dedicated all of that time. She would miss out on work and she was just very selfless. So I find myself modeling a lot of what I do after her in being selfless. So I would say that would be the person.
Oh, I love that. So who has had the biggest impact on you professionally?
Hmm. It's hard to narrow it down because there are so many people that influence me, even on like a day-to-day basis. Um, recently, uh, Lord, who would it be recently? I'll give you a recent one. Um, William Defoe. William Defoe. He actually no, I'll take that back. I'll take that back. It would be Samuel Jackson. Samuel has a master class, and in his master class, he was talking about how there are no small roles and how you can make a character very interesting by going into their backstory and seeing how that character would react and literally making it interesting for yourself. Because when you can make it interesting for you, you make it interesting for the audience. And again, there are so many people that do inspire me. So it is hard to narrow it down, but I will go Samuel Jackson.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Um, so how do you stay motivated even on days when you aren't really feeling it?
I just got to get up out of bed. It it is an ongoing thing. I feel like, especially with entertainers, or just, I'll generalize it instead of being so specific, because I feel like we all go through the same things. It's just in different ways, in different shapes and forms. Especially like from an interviewing perspective. You're always having to like reach out to people and see if you can get those interviews. And if you can't get those interviews, it might not be a good day, or it might be a great day because you might not have wanted to interview that person. You never know. But specifically for me, I just have to get up. 2023, and I've spoken about this with a lot of my friends, a lot of my family members. 2023 was very tough for me. I not only lost my show, but there were other opportunities and other shows that I was a part of that then were canceled due to the writer's strike.
Yeah.
So I was getting hit from left and right. And there were some days where I just wanted to stay in bed and I did not want to do anything, but I had to get up because I could not admit defeat. So again, the simplest thing I could say is just getting up out of bed. I don't care if you stay in bed until 12, you can
Yeah.
stay up until 12. It's just
Yeah.
get up.
Yeah.
The wrong thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm very sorry about all of that. That's always just seems like it would be very tough.
Well, you know what? It was tough, but there was also a lot of beauty in it because my 29th year, I had said I wanted to learn how to give myself true grace because I am a very tough critic on myself. I am very hard. I am one of those people who, if I don't do something up to the level I think I could do it, I will tear myself down. And I just wanted to learn how to give myself true grace. And I found myself
Yeah.
being put in situations where I had to give myself true grace. Again, we went into that strike. You know, the whole entertainment industry was shut down. We couldn't talk about TV shows. We couldn't talk about the movies we loved. We couldn't talk about anything. Even for Halloween, we could not dress up as characters.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, again, if you're going to take something else away, I'll go for that. Yeah, sure. But
Yeah.
again, understanding the meaning behind it and standing together in solidarity, understood. But you know, it for me made me understand that I cannot control those things that again I can't control. If it is something that is in my reach and grasp, sure, I can do that. But anything outside of me,
Yeah.
I just got to go with the flow. So I literally had to give myself true grace.
Yeah. Um, so what is something people are always surprised to learn about you?
That I am a goofball. I am I my best friend Kalen. Um he always says, if people really knew how you were, I don't think they would like you. And I'm just again, he says it as a joke. He says it as a joke. But I literally do not have a serious bone in my body. I don't. I will literally do voices all day. I don't even have to drink coffee. And I am literally on 10 all day. Even at 12 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, if I am up, I'm dancing, singing, like it. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I love that.
You think until you actually experience it. And then you're just like, okay, you're a lot. And I'm like, well, you said it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I always think that's great not to, not to take life too seriously.
You can't. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so many things that are going on with the world, and if we
Yeah.
really do take life seriously, another person, and I'm kind of reverting back, but another person who had a profound effect on me was Joan Rivers. Joan Rivers was doing a comedy special, and she was talking about a topic that made an audience member very upset, like very, very upset. And she said, she was just like, if we don't make light or if we don't have these moments where we can all laugh together while going through pain,
Yeah.
we'd all be literally, I'm not going to cuss, but we'd be effed. We really
Yeah.
would, you know, because we
Yeah.
wouldn't, you know, I think that Joan Rivers being so unapologetic, but also in her understanding of what her purpose was, which was to make people laugh. Robin Williams, I mean, I love Robin Williams, and he went off in like certain tangents, and he would make fun of certain specific people, and but again, everybody found the humor in it, and even the
Yeah.
people that he was making fun of found the humor in it. So, I mean, even are you familiar with Jeff Dunham?
I know the name.
I was gonna say, I don't know why I said it like that, but he's a ventriloquist. And he has this puppet, Ahmed, and he did a show. And it's like Ahmed the Dead Terrorist, but he did a show in oh Lord, where did he do a show at? I want to say like maybe Dubai, maybe Afghanistan or something like that. And it was very spot on with the puppet. And he was making fun of it, saying, don't bring out Ahmed, don't bring out Ahmed. But the people wanted to see Ahmed. So it just goes to show it's a way in which I think um you actually go about the situation.
Yeah.
I derailed blame it on my ADHD. Blame it on my
The derailments are always fun, so yeah. Yeah, my family and I always we have a very warped sense of humor, and we're always just like you can't like get upset about all these things because I don't know, just like you have to find the humor in things, and even in situations that aren't that great, we can always find something to laugh about. So
yeah, you
yeah.
can. You can always find something to laugh about. I mean, hey, yeah, yeah. Again, I will go on a tangent. I will go on a tangent. Yeah, so I'll be
Yeah. Um, so, what in your life brings you the most joy?
um I'm learning to find joy in the little things.
Yeah.
Specifically, again, last year, 2023, it was tough for a bunch of people. We, couldn't create. I couldn't, interpret characters in a public way. I had to kind of do it behind the scenes. And, I was still very much in acting classes. I also coach now. Never thought that I would do that. So I am finding the little joys in everything, like hanging out with my mom and my dad, who recently just retired, or being able to like hang out with my siblings, or like we just moved into a new place. So it's like decorating that and seeing how you feel. And I'm finding joy now in like doing skincare videos. Never thought that I would do that publicly, but I find the joy in like the little things, or being able to like my latest obsession where it brings me the most joy at night. It sounds weird when I say it like that, but is watching Scooby-Doo.
Oh,
Like all of like the old movies, like The Witch and like the 13 Ghosts, like that has been, I don't know why. It's become an obsession of mine.
oh, I love that. Yeah, well, Scooby-Doo always just makes you smile, so
Scooby-Doo, where
yeah.
are you? They couldn't get you. Yeah, that's my yeah.
Yeah.
I told you I am a goofball. I do have a serious bone in my body. If you see my desk right now, like I have example. I don't know why this little thing makes me so happy. It's like and it lights up, but you can kind of see it turn on. I don't know why it makes me happy, but it makes me happy. So, I just, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, just seeing it for a second, it made me happy, so I get it.
Find the little things that just make you happy.
Yeah,
I'm learning to reinvest in my child. What I mean by that is like, like when they say nurture your inner child,
yeah,
I genuinely am doing that. I have to, and I'm understanding, especially as a creative and as an actor, when we're interpreting scripts, as you go through the business and like you learn the technical aspects and things like that, it just becomes so oversaturated and so complicated versus like if you were a kid interpreting a script, you would literally make up everything in your head and you would like let everything just like happen versus it being so structured. So learning to get back to,
yeah.
excuse me, my childlike sense of creativity, spontaneity, and imagination literally has helped me the most.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. I'm all about finding the joy in little things. Um, yeah, my mom always taught me and my sister that the to find joy in the little things. So I've always done that, but then especially these last few years with a lot of stuff going on, I've learned to do
Mm.
that. This like I've really learned to do that. So
Well, I love that. Thank your mom for me, because that is a big one. That is a big one to just
yeah,
again the joy in the little things. I
yeah,
love that. That is a good life lesson, a good gym.
yeah,
Anybody who's watching, that is a great gym. Okay,
yeah.
enjoy the little things. It doesn't have to always be big.
Yeah, definitely. Um, so what movie or show do you find yourself quoting more often than you'd like?
Norbit.
Okay.
Reason as to why. Yeah. So my best friend Kaylin, I was like, hey, we should do something for Halloween. We should be something. And he was like, well, what do you want to be? And I was like, how about you be Respucia and I be Norbit? He was like, we can't do that because we're going to get canceled. I was like, but would people cancel us, or would they think it was like funny, but like very camp? And he was like, no, we'd get canceled. So anytime we're on the phone, I find myself doing Norbit or Respucia. um, I love Eddie Murphy, and that is all that I will say.
Oh, I love that.
It's it's yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like fluent in movie quotes and show quotes. That's all that lives in my brain. So,
Okay. So what is a favorite quote that you've been using lately?
oh,
See, I'm asking you a question now.
yeah. Um, oh, I don't know actually. I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
I know my go-to ones that
Hmm.
I always quote. Um,
Go for it.
there's
Let me hear at least one if you got one for me.
Okay. Um, well, the one that immediately comes to mind is from the show Psych.
Ah,
Uh,
okay. Okay.
that's I've
Okay.
heard it both ways.
Oh,
Um, so I always, yeah, I don't know. I always say that. I always quote Psych, Friends, and Will and Grace. So,
okay. Those are good shows to quote, though. Okay. 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 I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much all that lives in my head, and just scenes on replay from like Will and Grace that and Friends that just make me laugh. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it. I get it. Music more so lives in my head more than
yeah,
movie quotes.
yeah,
Why? I have no idea.
yeah.
I, I woke up on my birthday, and Pink's song that was on the Ellen DeGeneres show, was playing in my head. Today's the day. Today's the day I've been waiting for. Tomorrow can't come after all. Yesterday's the only day. And I was like, I don't know why that's playing in my head, but it did. And I listened to it. And it made me feel good. So
I love that. Yeah, yeah, music also lives in my head too. Like, yeah, that's the main thing that is always on my mind, either music or certain shows and movies.
fair enough. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Um, so is there a song that whenever you hear it makes you emotional?
Yes, yes. There are two that pop into my head immediately. Um, Faith Hill, Where Are You Christmas? And Carrie Underwood's Mama Song. I don't the no actually oh no, Carrie Underwood. Um, uh, it's another song by Carrie Underwood, and she goes from the perspective of like a little boy to like a little girl to like an older man, and basically it's like uh anyway, that song gets me emotional. And Faith Hill, Where Are You Christmas? Because as I've gotten older, again, Christmas is my still my favorite time of year, besides Halloween, which I feel like are two general default ones for everybody. But Christmas was literally the time of year when I was a kid where it would feel like Christmas, like the energy around it that surrounded Christmas was just so infectious and so like just enveloping. And I found as I got older, it just did not feel the same. Like Christmas genuinely feels like another day now. And in Faith Hill, Where Are You Christmas? It just speaks onto Where Are You Christmas? Um, you know, but yeah, it's kind of self-explanatory of how I explained how I feel about Christmas. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. So if you had a warning label, what would yours say?
I actually used to come with a warning label. Many people do not know this. I did. I did. I was a great kid. Let me start there. I was a very respectful young man. I listened, I cleaned up, I ate my vegetables. However, anytime my parents would drop me off at like a friend's house or my aunt's house, this was they're in the, like they would bring me to the door and put me in, and then they would say this: if he breaks anything, let us know, we'll pay for it. I was just a very rough kid. I was like WWE all the way. So I have broken many bed, many couch, many tables. I've broken a lot of things. Yeah. So that was my warning label. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, and it's true. And I've never said
Yeah,
that. So
yeah,
hey, just so you know, I break stuff.
yeah,
But-
yeah,
and I'm still clumsy. So I don't break stuff now.
mm,
Now I
yeah,
don't. Now I don't.
yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah,
might just trip. I might just trip upstairs and that might happen, but it'll be fine.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, my mom always jokes that I'm like a bull in a china shop because I don't intentionally break things, but I don't
It
have
just
great
happens.
balance.
It
So
just happens. And it just happens. It just happens. I'm like, you can't look, this you brought me into the world. So technically it's your fault.
yeah. Yeah,
But
yeah, I like that. Yeah. So, I am pop culture obsessed, and I go in stages of shows that I cannot stop watching. Is
okay.
there a show that you are currently obsessed with?
A show I am currently obsessed with. Okay, so my nerd is about to come out. Um, I am a big anime fan. So I am now rewatching The Seven Deadly Sins. I discovered The Seven Deadly Sins during the pandemic and I watched everything, and my comfort is animation and cartoons for like escapism. So yeah, I definitely have now been rewatching The Seven Deadly Sins, and I am not mad at it.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
That is my comfort. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Yeah, my mom and I just finished watching a limited series on Netflix called One Day.
One day.
Yeah, it's
What is that about?
It's really good. It's a British show, and it's based on a book, and it's about these two people and their relationship
Mhm.
over the years. Like it starts in, I want to say, like 1970 something, and goes to early 2000s, and each episode is the same day but over on a different year, or in a different year.
One day, wrote it down. Got it.
Cool.
Yeah. I started watching Griselda, which Sofia Vergara,
Yeah.
that is I have never seen her like that. Never. Never have I seen her like that. It's have you seen a little bit of it?
I started watching it. I need to go back and finish it.
That's good. That's good. I can't wait for Black Mirror to
I,
come back. Black Mirror was my thing. Black Mirror. Ooh. New episode. I need some new episodes.
yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah. I've never seen that one, but I did watch what I've seen of Griselda. I really, really like it, so I need to go back and finish it.
Okay. Okay. Let me know how you like it. Let me know how
I
you like
will.
it.
I will. Yeah. Yeah. Um, so what lessons from your childhood have most impacted your worldview?
These are some really good questions.
Thank
These are
you.
some very good questions. Lessons from my childhood. Um, I remember when I was okay. I wouldn't. I don't know if this is necessarily a lesson, but I would always have these adult conversations when I was younger. I came into the world an old soul. So for me, I would always get adults telling me, you don't know who you are, you don't know what you're talking about, et cetera, et cetera. And my my little cousin Hakeem, uh, before the age of 13, he had lost his mother and his father. And I would always equate like age to wisdom. Like the older you got, the wiser you got. But that's not true at all. Because I know people that are my age that are way more immature, and I know people that are older that are immature. I think it's life experience. And for me, when I was a kid, I had experienced a lot growing up in Compton. My childhood was great in a sense of like, my parents were there and I had community, and I had people who protected me, of course, older siblings. But I definitely went through my own trials and tribulations, but I had experienced so much that I knew what I liked, what I didn't like, who I was at that time. And I remember particularly my uncle, God rest his soul, we were having a conversation. I had to be 13, and he was like, you don't know who you are, boy. You don't know nothing right now. I've been your age. You ain't never been mine. And I remember I challenged that, and I always challenged that thinking as a young kid. So now I love to challenge people's thinking. Again, I'm not going to sit here and tell you you're wrong. I'm not going to sit here and tell you you're right. Your viewpoint is your viewpoint. My viewpoint is my viewpoint. We can come to an agreement, agree to disagree. That's fine, but I think the lesson that I learned the most when I was a kid was age does not come with wisdom. Life experience brings you wisdom. So yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely agree with that. Yeah. Um, so what, no matter how many times you see it, always takes your breath away?
The stars. The stars, yeah, yeah. I used to go to Joshua Tree every December, and literally that was like my breath of fresh air going into the new year. Because like living in LA, there's lights everywhere. There's so much light saturation, you cannot see stars, and if you do, it's like very minimal. Versus like being in Joshua Tree, you see everything. So yeah, stars.
Oh, I love that.
Mm.
Yeah. And actually, you just mentioning LA, and that, like, that is my favorite place in the world.
LA is your favorite place?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
what about LA? What do you like about LA?
Um, it's because what I've been there, with my mom and my sister, uh, a, a few times over the last few years. So we found like our places that we love, and
Okay.
so we formed like relationships with people
Geez,
there. And then a lot of my friends are in LA, so I love it there because I always get to see them. And it
okay.
just feels more, for me, it feels more like home than any other place I've been.
You know what? I'm not even mad at that because you have your sense of community here,
Yeah.
and that's great. That's great. LA is home, but the only place, okay, two places that I have felt like I was home was Honolulu, Hawaii, and Montreal, Canada.
Oh,
Yeah. I was like, oh, I could live here. Oh, yep, I could live here. I was literally, me and like my siblings, we were looking at homes in Honolulu, Hawaii years ago because it was like, hey, do y'all want to move? Yeah. Are we gonna do it? No, we didn't. No.
yeah. Yeah, I've always wanted to visit Hawaii, and I've always wanted to visit Canada because my
Mm.
mom went to school up there, and so
Oh, really?
she's always told me and my sister about it, and like stories from there, and so we've always wanted to visit.
Well, I mean, hey, you have nothing but time. I would
Yeah,
go. I would
yeah,
go. I would go. If you go to Hawaii, well, when you go to Hawaii, not if. When you go to Hawaii, I would do Honolulu versus Maui.
okay.
My unpopular opinion. Honolulu, Hawaii is just, in my opinion, better than Maui.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I'll have to remember that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, so sorry, I just completely forgot what question I had asked you.
Oh,
Uh,
we were talking about is there something and again my ADHD kicks in all the time, so you're fine. We were talking about stars. You had asked me if, when you
oh,
see
yeah.
something. Yes.
Okay.
No, right? What, right? Wasn't that it?
Yes, now it's coming back to me because I
Okay.
was staring at the question and I couldn't remember if it already
I
if it
got you,
already.
you got me. See,
Yeah,
good. We're good. We're good.
yeah. I feel like we were meant to meet.
There are no accidents. You are very right. This moment was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Um, so I love inspiring and motivational quotes. And this week, my favorite quotation is "The best is yet to be."
Mhm.
Is there a quotation that has inspired you lately?
Yes. And I haven't said it in a while. But Felicity Rashad, she was saying a quote, and I don't know, she didn't originate the quote, and I don't know if her mother originated the quote, but it's very simplistic. It says, I bear no ill will to the universe, and it bears no ill will to me. That that was very transformative for me because you can always feel like everything is just going to crap. I don't want to cuss. I'm working on not cussing as much, but you can feel like everything is not working in your favor, and you could feel like the universe is against you. But in all actuality, everything that you're going through is leading you to that next moment to get you to where you need to be. So again, it follows. I bear no ill to the universe because I don't, and the universe bears no ill to me. So that has been a quote that has very much resonated with me for a while.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Mhm. I feel
Yeah.
like Oprah. Write it down. Write it down. Write it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I will write that down. Yeah. Yeah. Um, well, it was so much fun talking with you. I have had the best time. You've made my day. So thank
Oh,
you so
you made my
much.
day. No, seriously, you made my day because your questions were not general. They were very specific. And again, they were very different from any other questions that I have been asked. So I appreciate you for taking the time out to curate questions where you could really get to know your guests. So thank you, my love. I appreciate that.
Oh, thank you so much. That's always my goal, to ask people questions they've never heard before. So
You've achieved it for me. So I appreciate it. I appreciate
oh,
it.
thank you. Thank you so much for that. That means a lot.
Thank
Yeah. So yeah, I so appreciate your taking the time, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank
Um,
you. I hope you have a great rest of your day as well. I'm actually
thank
going to go
you.
celebrate one of my sister's birthdays because it's today.
Oh, well, happy birthday to her.
I will tell her, I promise.
Okay, thank you. Um, and that's a wrap on today's edition of The Latest with Maya.